Hey church kids, it's Mr. Damon, and I am so excited because you're my friend and we get to hang out today. Did you have a good week? Did you get to do anything fun that was this week? I hope you did, because this guy did, and that fun thing is get to spend time with the one and the only you, because you are incredible. And the fact that you are a part of Church Kids and that we get to be friends literally is the coolest thing in the world to me. Well, we are in the middle of learning about something called prayer. Now, what is prayer? Oh, prayer is simply talking with Jesus. And it's one of the most important things that we can do in our best friendship with Him. We learned about what prayer is. We learned about what prayer does. And today, we are going to find out how to pray. That's right, church kids. How do you pray? But before we get into that, do you have any idea at all what time it is? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the question of the week. Have you ever played a video game before? Of course you probably, maybe, most likely have. I loved playing video games when I was little, and kind of still today. But church kids, when you were playing a video game, have you ever come across a part in the game you just couldn't get past it? Maybe you're like at the end of Minecraft and you're battling the Ender Dragon, and you're just like, I don't know how to do this. And so what do? You talk to your friend who's beat the game before, and they're like, okay, simply just do this. Like, grab your nuclear unicorn, cupcake power, and then just like throw it in a fireball. And they're like, oh, and you're like, it worked. Have you ever been playing a video game and couldn't get past a really difficult part, but then your friend helped you? Isn't it amazing how what seems impossible or so difficult, when somebody else explains it to you and you talk together about it, all of a sudden that thing that was so hard, oh man, it all gets taken care of. Well, do you know, believe it or not, that's actually a lot like what prayer is. Because when we talk to Jesus, I tell you what, amazing things happen. But let's go to the Bible first, and let's hear what Jesus says about prayer himself. In John chapter 14, Jesus tells us, you can ask me for anything and I will do it, so that the Son can bring glory to the Father. Yes, ask me for anything and I will do it. And then in Psalms 27, it says, my heart has heard you say, come and talk with me. And my heart responds, Lord, I am coming. Church kids, do you know that the 33 years that Jesus spent living here on the earth, that he talked to God all the time? Jesus himself prayed. Now, why would God need to talk to God? Well, it was simple. Because he was showing us how life and our best friendship with God works best. That Jesus wants us to talk to him. And do you know, it's so easy. How do we do it? Mr. Damon, how do I pray? Easy. Ready? Here we go. Number one. Tell Jesus thank you. The best way for you and I to begin to talk with God is to simply tell him thank you. Church kids, we have so much to be thankful for. You're like, yeah, but you know what? I didn't get that cool toy that I wanted last week. Yeah, I understand that. But think about all the things that you have to be thankful for. Do you know that in James chapter 1, the Bible tells us every single good thing in this life is all a gift from Jesus? That's right. Every single thing, that's good. Everything that makes you laugh, that's good. Everything that is wonderful, it's all from God. The fact that you can walk and run, or the fact that you can see, or the fact that you can hear, the fact that you have friends, the fact that you get to go to school and enjoy an education, the fact that you have a family that loves you. Church kids, the fact that you're good at so many things, it's all a gift from Jesus. So what's the best way for you and I to pray? Is to simply tell Jesus, thank you. Tell him what you're thankful for. And you know what the next thing is? The next way that we pray is we tell Jesus how we're feeling. Mr. Damon, the God who created the universe, he cares and wants to know how I feel. 100%. Church kids, do you know that Mr. Damon, I tell God how I'm feeling all the time. And not just when I'm feeling good, but when I'm feeling bad, when I'm feeling really sad or disappointed or like I got left out or I'm feeling lonely. Church kids, one of the best ways for us to talk to Jesus is just tell him how you're feeling. Because instead of all those feelings staying trapped on the inside of you, when you say, Jesus, I'm having a bad day. I'm feeling so lonely. I don't feel like I have any friends. Or maybe it's, God, I just don't feel like I'm as good as everybody else, like at soccer or on my swim team. When we tell Jesus how we're feeling, it gets everything that's on the inside of us out, and we give it to him. Do you know that everybody in the Bible would talk with God on their good days and bad days? King David would even tell God when he was having a bad day. Listen to what King David said. He says, I prayed to the Lord, and he answered me, and he freed me from all of my fears. Church kids, we tell God thank you. We tell him how we're feeling. And the last thing is, we tell him what we want. You know what's so cool is that when you want something, you can tell God. If it's something as simple as a toy, or maybe it's somebody that you know that's sick, or maybe you're sick, or maybe you think to yourself, I don't really have very many friends. God, I want some friends. Church kids, you and I can tell God whatever it is we want. And we learned last week that God always answers. Sometimes the answer is no, if it's something that's not very good for us. Sometimes the answer is not right now. And sometimes God answers right away. But when we talk to Jesus, and when we tell him thank you, when we tell him how we're feeling, and when we tell him what we want, all of a sudden, all that stuff gets out from the inside of us. We put it in God's hands, and his peace comes and fills us up and reminds us, God, you love me so much. You're going to take care of me. This is going to work out. I'm going to be okay. Church kids, that's how we pray. So this week, I want to challenge you. Each day, take just a couple of seconds, not an hour, but just a couple of seconds, and tell Jesus how you're feeling. See what happens. Tell Jesus, thank you. And tell Jesus what you want. Because he has promised that he is listening to every word you say, and he will answer you.